What's happening, folks, and welcome to a season review of season 2 with Ajax. Now, this season review is going to be not as long as the previous one because there's things I'm starting to do with the transfers that I'm going to try and not show you. But we'll do our best not to reveal anything. There's one young player I found, which I'm about to sign. And there's a few players leaving, but apart from that, I don't know what's going to happen in the window. I don't think much can happen really, unless someone massive leaves for a lot of money. Then I may react and do something. But I think the squad's pretty solid. I think maybe a defender could leave on loan, maybe get a defender in. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. Still waiting to see what I've got coming in the market wise. So. We're going to go through every competitions you can see on the screen here. We're going to look through the defenders, goalkeepers, and attackers. Look at the budget for next season, which I've already started to spend some of it already. And then, just go from there, really. So, as you can see here, the final game of the season I didn't show because obviously there was nothing really on it. And it just means it'd be an extra day waiting for another season to start for you guys. So, we go to Eredivisie here. And then just go to stages and look at the league table. We did finish unbeaten. We did beat AZ Alkmaar 4-0 in the final game of the season, which is fantastic. Great bounce back from the game against Milan. We lost. It's just so frustrating. We lost that tie. It's not massive downer, is it? But that unbeaten. I can't remember the last time I had an unbeaten season on Football Manager. It must be a while. I think even the great Man United sides I've had down on FM down the various different games I've played, I've lost this one game, and even if I may have won 36 of the other ones, something like that. I've never gone. I don't feel. I might not have gone unbeaten. I must have done them at least once with Man United at some point in those long term saves I've done. But to go unbeaten on YouTube with Ajax was fantastic. I mean, to be that far ahead of PSV and hopefully keep the squad together next season. I think it's going to be a season of young players coming in. I don't think we're going to be spending much money on massive players. The only thing could happen would be maybe if Hakim Ziyech leaves and forces him to move out, I bring in somebody else to replace him. It'd be a like-for-like replacement of if Haaland leaves, bring a top striker in. If Hakim leaves, bring a midfielder / cam in, which I know who it would be. And so on and so on and so on. So that'll be what we're doing. We'll use the money we get from that to replace them. I've already started bringing a DM and CM already in. So yeah, we'll get to that next episode, which should be tomorrow. It'll be the first game of the season against whoever it is in the I think it's PSV. I'll be playing Water again in that open competition. So unbeaten in the league. Can't fault them really. Goal difference plus 85, which is really good actually for us because you look at our goals against, 17 goals conceded. That is pretty good. I'm very happy with our defensive shape, but they're also the fact that we scored so many goals as well. Because I remember the start of this series, we were winning a lot of games 2-1. I think there was a common joke on the series that the most common score I was getting was 2-1. It was I was like, dude, it's ridiculous. It's uncanny how many times it was 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Even the games weren't 2-1 wins. They were in terms of performances, they felt like they were bigger wins because we were dominant, just couldn't create chances. Now it's variety in scoring. We just go let's know what average scoring is on. Maybe we can find out in depth in the stats in a second. But yeah, it's a very good season. Very happy with that overall. We go to the competitions overall. Champions League group stage. We were just unlucky. We just couldn't keep the form going at the start, and it wasn't the easy group. I'm hopeful that at some point we get something like this group here. That'd be great. But it's something that we can't control. But we did beat Madrid. I think didn't we beat Arsenal? I think as well drew against Arsenal. There's just we need a bit of help in the group, to be honest. But again, maybe young players. It's something to aim for. In this series, I'm not setting a target to win Champions League. I want to win it, but I'm just saying, what, I'm going to do a few seasons of Ajax and see where we go. I'm realizing now my ability on the game is not great anymore, and I'm just going to pick a team and see what I can do with them. I'm not going to set an ultimate aim. I must do this with X, Y, or Z, because if I do that, if I don't quite achieve it in 3 or 4 seasons, I start getting negative and having frustrated. But it's we'll see what plays out, and obviously try and progress. But yeah, Not great Champions League, but some good moments. Europa League though, we met our expectation. We had a great Europa League run this season. I'm really happy with how we did in Europa League. Last year we really struggled. If you look at the quarter final, we beat by Borussia Dortmund 4-2, 4-1 both games, and 8-1, 8-2. Sorry, very good result there for us. The result of the season was Chelsea. I did not see that happening. Maybe we could beat them, sure, but I didn't think we'd get a clean sheet against them in 2 games. And that tactic was really good. And the game at Stamford Bridge was a fantastic moment in the season. That Haaland goal was one of the highlights of the second season for me. The fact that he ran through and then placed in the bottom corner right next to the time. I was convinced it was going to penalties, dude. I was convinced it was going to penalties. And then you look at the first knockout round. We beat Lyon. Was a really good result again. So we beat Lyon, Chelsea, Dortmund, and we sort of compete against AC Milan. So we have progressed this season. It's all about finding those moments where you move forward. We have moved forward. We almost got out of the group. We were so lucky we couldn't get the results near the end. But in Europa League, we really did really well in. And it may be that happens again this season. We get Europa League. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully we get out of the group next season. Obviously, depending on the group we do get. But you know what? The 5-2 was a bit harsh in that game. I think we were equal to just little moments when, the 2 penalties that we gave away very cheaply, and the fact that we didn't realise, I didn't realise they'd switched their winger, and the marking wasn't done correctly. Just fine margins, just didn't quite work out for us. But you know what? Overall, very positive. We won the Toto competition again. It's the 3rd time I've won it now. Beat PSV in the final. Obviously, you saw that. Good, another trophy in the cabinet. Cannot complain about it. Very happy with that. And we also won the Johan Cruyff Cup, which no one cares about. Well, they don't care about it anyway, but I do. It's a trophy in the day. Any trophy's worth. If you're in the final, go win it. So yeah. So let's go to the league stats now overall, and let's see where we rank in all the things. I'm guessing, given we won the league by given that we won the league by a massive margin, we're probably going to rank up pretty high in these. So, average possession, we are currently 7th, which is a bit surprising. I think it's mainly because we rotate the formations a bit, so we go DM occasionally in games, but 51% possession, average possession, which, is not bad. I mean, the passage completion ratio is at 87%. I would like that to be at 90, but I'm not too worried about it. So penalties taken, we had 10 penalties taken, 8 scored. So what's that percentage, right? It's 80%-ish, 85, 90, whatever. I'm not getting percentages, guys. I'm crap at maths. But yeah, we've scored 8 of the 10 penalties that we've scored. And I wonder if one of those penalties, I'm pretty sure at least one of those penalties was rebounded and put in the back of the net. Try to remember. I don't fully remember. So that's great. Headers won. This is an issue for us. Headers won. We only win 913 headers. Now, I don't know whether that's just the general heading overall, but I want that to be higher. So I could be looking at my centre-backs in the summer and trying to increase their height, because I do feel like some of the issues with set-piece that we're having are the fact they're not winning the headers. Bailly did that, obviously, you saw that in the Europa League game. So that could be one something to look at. Percentage headers won, 58%. Percentage of winning headers won, we don't rank down the low. This is definitely an issue we need to look at. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a centre-back who can do that, but I will be looking at get a tall centre-back in to just maybe try and see if that makes a difference or not. Ideally, be somebody young who's got a bit of pace, so that would be something that we'll look at. It may be something long-term we have to fix. Maybe we can't win it. Man, you're saying that. It could also be, you've got to factor in that we are the dominant side in most games, so a lot of the chances we're going to concede will probably be from set pieces, because we're going to dominate possession a lot. They're going to sit back, counter attacks, and set pieces are maybe the best option they're going to get from scoring goals. So there's an element of that as well in that as well. So if we can get this to if we get this headers won, maybe not up to I want to get this headers up to over I don't know. We'll go for a percentage here. Is that it? Is that it? Headers won ratio, right? Get that up to 70%, 75%, something like that would be great. Obviously, they've only got 60%, but we aim higher. But yeah, 68% would be great to win that. 68% headers won. That would mean that you'd hope that we're not conceding many goals from set pieces. But again, remember to keep an eye on next season. And when we do concede a goal from set piece, is it a header or not? And if it is a header, then maybe it's something we need to look at. But yeah, I do feel like that is something that we need to improve on. Massive yellow cards, we rank pretty low on that. Same on red cards, we've only got 1 red card this season, which is actually kind of surprising. So the form, as you can see, yep. Last goal, 9 minutes. We're top of that. Brilliant. Of course we are, because we've just been brilliant. Home form, didn't lose a single game at home, which is brilliant. Away form, we won. Again, can't blame, can't fault it. It's fantastic. Our form. Games won in a row. Again, not care about that really too much. Games lost in a row. Again, not something we're going to really read into too much. Goals scored in a row. 18 games in a row we've scored in, which is really good. That is really good to see. What's this one here? Games not conceding 2. So yeah, it's great. You cannot fault on games like losing 37. Brilliant. And then you get down to like games without winning and games without conceding, which you know, we conceded 1 goal, but we scored like 4 on average, or 3 or 4 on average, so it's not that much of an issue, really, to be honest with you. So let's look at goals scored. We've got 102, highest in the league. Obviously, you saw that from the goal difference, 60 for PSV. And the good news about it is, we'll get that in a second, is they've been spread around a bit more this year, which is really good. Cross completion ratio is 22%, which we could do a bit more, but we don't really swing balls in the box, really. But again, you know, you try for negatives in this team this year, and there's not really anything really you can criticize them on. We've got the highest completed crosses. When we do cross the ball, we're best at completing them. Goals from corners, only 10. I think this is again down to height. I think it's definitely down to height. We don't score from corner kicks. Again, I don't know how many corner kicks we've had. How much have we had from corner kicks? Does it say here? No, it doesn't. So again, height. Maybe if we get more height in the team, could help with that. I think it would be, help our defensive side, like I've said, and also help our attacking side as well. Because maybe set piece against lower league sides or lower teams that are sitting deep and we struggle to score, which is not often, but it could happen. That height would help with that. So this is interesting. This is an interesting one I want to see. Goals direct from free kicks. Only got 1. But look at this. Only 2 goals direct from free kicks. So it's not just us. It's not just us that's struggling. It's the whole league that's struggling. So I asked you guys in the comment section in the previous episode. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet or you've heard it. But is this a thing in the game this year that free kicks don't go in? Because I'm not saying it is, but the evidence here is a bit weird. Like, you'd thought it'd be more than this going in. So is it a thing? Is it a thing that, yes, setbacks are an issue and they don't score enough or free kicks don't go in enough? It does feel like it could be a possible thing to look into. But I don't know if it is or not. I'm not throwing shade at the game, but it feels like there should be more going in, but maybe it's just the way my save's going. I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comment section. Goals in direct free kicks, we're good from though. 11 from indirect free kicks, great. Pass completion ratio is 87%. Next year we're up to 90. But then again, we have played more direct passing, so maybe we're trying more stuff to get in behind. If I haven't shot passing completely, I reckon I'd be higher. To be honest with you, passes completed. Again, we're going more direct. We're not keeping the ball ultra safe possession wise. Chances created, as you can see, 109 chances created. Is that clear cut? Is that clear cut chances? Probably not. Shot on target ratio, 48%. But we have a lot more shots than anybody up there. So yeah, that's why it's just down. More shots you do. Yeah. Shots on target, 350. Brilliant. Top for that. Fantastic. Conversion rate, 40%. Top. That's brilliant. I can't fault the goal scoring this season. It's been brilliant. There's times where you just watch the team and it's like, I'm just sitting there watching the team play and it's like, perfect. There's nothing really wrong with that. Fouls against, 525. Yeah, makes sense. We're a better team, so we will maybe get more fouls against us, possibly. Dribbles per game, 19. Brilliant. That's the wing play in action there. And Promes and Neres and people like that. That's pretty good. Conceded goals, we saw 17. Goals conceded from corner kicks, 2. Again, not an issue. Goals come from direct free kicks. 2. It feels like we're conceding more from that, to be honest with you. This is in the league, though. It just feels like I think it's not so much we're conceding goals from it, it's that we look like conceding goals from it. The stats here would indicate that we're not conceding many goals from them, generally speaking, but it feels like when the ball goes in the box, we don't deal with them enough. But then again, if every highlight they get is going to be a set piece, then you know what I mean. It's going to be one of those things. So I think definitely increasing the defensive side of things could be something we look at doing in terms of height. Clean sheets, we're top for that. Brilliant stuff. Fouls made, we're not too certain by that. Penalties conceded, we conceded. Really? We didn't concede a single penalty in the league. How has that happened? Something's not right there. Anyway, net spend. We had a net spend of 11.39 million. It's probably going to be saying this summer, to be fair, unless someone massively leaves. Salary premium is highest for us. Yeah, that's just the fact that I'm trying to keep players here as long as I can. The idea is to keep players here as long as I possibly can until I get the young players developing and coming through. Like Haaland and Hakim and Neves. Once I get the young players fully developed and I've got a system set up where I've got young players coming in and they're ready, then I'm in a much stronger position. But yeah. So yeah, let's go quickly look at the various sections of the squad. This may be a bit wonky because of the fact that I've got players moving in and out. But we'll first go to one player that's definitely leaving the club, and we'll go to him now. So Cuadrado is leaving the club. He is on the transfer list. There's a few clubs looking at him. Oceana, Granada, and West Ham United looking at signing him. £7.5 million what I'm looking for. I did pay a lot more for him, £18 million. He's just lost that pace, unfortunately, which I want. And I've got a young player, which I'll get to in a second, who's going to probably play us next season. So he showed his purpose. It gave me a bit of rotation for Promes. The one with him, just the pace is going. And he's 32, and he's just inhibiting a young player. So he's leaving for certain next season. Lawrence Simons is a player that I'm going to probably loan out for next season, if I possibly can. I'm trying to loan him out. He's just not playing for me much. And he was only in as an emergency backup for Erling Haaland. But then it's coming, and Brian is developing quite well. So he's going to be loaned out. If I have to sell him, I will try and stick a buyback clause in there, like £7 to £10 million, something like that. I could do that. Just so I can get him back cheap-ish if he nails it and I need him back. But yeah, he's going to be loaned out if I possibly can do it. There are players supposed to do want to sign him. I would prefer to loan him out. He's agreed to go out on loan. He said he's okay with it. Sorry, he's got his screen there. He has agreed to go out on loan. It's just finding somebody who will loan him out, who will loan him. Surely somebody will take a guy with 15 pace, 16 acceleration, 16 pace, and that finishing heading ability. Surely someone will do that. But yeah, just Erling Haaland and Esposito are going to stay. And I think that's the way I'm going to go with it. I'm going to try and keep Haaland as long as I can. But I think Esposito will start up front. If I have to sell Haaland, it'll probably be Esposito that starts up front with Brian Robert as the backup option. Unless I can buy a striker. But I've got a lot of good strikers who are young, who can develop. So yeah, Lauren is going to be leaving on loan if Ratford comes in for him. So guys, the defenders on the screen here now is some average rating. So the highest average rating is actually Partey, but we're ignoring him as a defender. Lisandro Martinez is a player that I love. He's I think my favourite defender. He is just solid. I do not have an issue with him at all. That pace is good enough. He likes being out from the defence. He suits the style of play perfectly. He's been linked with a move to Madrid and Milan. Again, that could be an issue. When is his contract? 2020 he started. I might give him a new deal actually again. Can I do it now? Okay, so again, it's going to be another summer of fighting for these players to stay in. Anis Adine Salah, he's a good left back option for now. He's got potential to improve as well, which is good. Again, for now, he's going to be around the club still, rotating on left-hand side. It could be a simple matter of keeping him, playing him, but then if someone better comes in, available on youth or anything like that, then selling him. But right now, he's my long-term left-back until such time as I get another option. if I do get one, he might completely nail it. He wants a new contract. That's probably going to be something I'm going to do for him, just to give him that. He's got good potential, though. He's still got a bit of growth in him as well, so that's very good. He's almost as good as the current ability of Tagliafico, who is very good as well. The only issue with Tagliafico is his crossing ability to go that way, but he's good marking and tackling. So, yeah, the left back is pretty solid now, to be honest with you. It's a matter of just developing and waiting, really, on that in that area of the pitch. In terms of right back, we have got Dest, who is our main right back. That crossing ability is fantastic. That pace is great as well. He's the first right back. No problems with him at all. He's brilliant. I think when he goes forward, I'm really excited about what he can do. He's American as well, which is really nice and a bit unique. So yeah, a very, very good right back. Still got potential to grow as well, which is great. He's playing this way right now. I was rating of 17.9. He can improve massively. And I'm really excited about him. The only issue at right back is this dude. I don't think he is good enough. Again, this could be a simple matter of go out and maybe try and find a youngster who can come in, or maybe an experienced backup. Because I don't really want to disrupt Dest. He's just here for now, just to give him a backup option. So I think a right back could be possible. I don't know who I'd get, but that's when the scouting and the sitting down on search engines, scouting systems comes into play. But yeah, I will try and find a right back, I think, to replace him, because he's not got much potential, and I may go for two young right backs. I don't know. It depends what's available for youth, for experience in that area. If there's no one else out there who's really great for experience, then I'll just stick with him or get a youngster in. So yeah, at the centre back, Veltman, solid. The pace is an issue though. The thing he's got in his favour is he can play right back and left back, right back and centre back. So it could be this matter of Veltman plays right back more as a backup option, but that pace will remain in that area. I think Bailly, solid, really good signing. Happy with him. Not got much pace, but again, not much issue with him other than the AC Milan game. I do feel like in the centre back position, we do need a bit more pace in it. So I think the priority in this one is going to be, if I sign a centre back, he's got to have pace. Whether that be an experienced player or a young talent who's got a lot of potential to be that quick. There's one guy, Anderlecht, I think I'm looking at. I think he's Anderlecht, who's got pace. So I might bring that guy in as the backup option. I think I'm going to loan this guy out and then bring somebody in. I don't know yet. It's a lot of if, buts and maybes on this area. Then you've got Martinez, Veltman, Bailly and Schurz. I think it's better to loan him out and get a youngster in who's got that pace. It all depends what's on the market and what's available. So let's get to the midfielders. Right, so as you can see here on the midfielders, every one of these midfielders the problem is this, right? These defenders are on here, which is really confusing me. So let's look at this guy first, because this is the guy who's essentially going to replace Juan Cuadrado because of that potential. I was looking at right wingers and I couldn't really find what I wanted for the money that I wanted to pay. Now, he's not a winger, he's an inverted winger, he's an inside forward, and he can be a winger as well a bit. So we may have to just try and invert a winger on him. He's left-footed. I think he's got a strong left foot, I think. Hang on, wrong screen. Damn it. Trying to find... There we go. Very strong left foot, weak on his right foot. So I think a winger position is going to be difficult for him. But inverted winger is something I've always wanted to try out. So we could try it out in games. I think it could be a case of in the lesser games against the lower teams, we stick him on the right wing and on inverted winger and rotating and see how he gets on. But I'd rather give him a go and allow my funds to be spent on like a DM, CM, and a centre back and a right back in the summer. And of course, like I said, if we sell a striker and whatever happens, we'll have to adjust. But he's got potential to improve, and I think there's definitely something there. And I love that finish to get a bit higher. But again, we'll have to wait and see how that develops. David Neres, great season from him. 20 goals. He basically did what? He basically fulfilled the gap left by promises lack of goals compared to last season. 20 goals, 16 assists, brilliant stuff. He is a player that I was convinced was going to leave the club in the summer. He's been playing out position well, to be fair, as well. He's actually a right-sided player. I was convinced he was going to leave the club, Hopefully there's no interest in him, but I'm pretty sure there will be. I've managed to fight off the injuries so far. I think Bayern Munich were really interested in signing this guy early on. Akin Ziyech, better season from him this season. 9 goals, 20 assists. Free kick taking 16, but can't score until his life. He's got 1, I think. But he's definitely been better than last season. He does okay in that central midfield role. I think the long-term aim would be if he was to leave, who wants him? Tottenham want him. I think I can fight off Tottenham. I think I can fight off Tottenham. If he leaves, it'd be probably someone like a Maddison who comes in. If I can do a deal for him, just to try and get the centre mid and a cam natural player in that position. I mean, there's other guys I'm looking at as well, but again, hopefully he stays. I want to keep these guys around while I'm really getting the scouting network. I'm working on it in the background, guys. It's just right now there's not many great players. There's one player we've found that I've done a deal for, which you'll see next episode, which will be hopefully tomorrow if I get my ass into gear and get more time to record it. But yeah, he will hopefully be here next season. But again, it's all if, buts, and maybes at the moment. I think the midfielder of the season has to go to, I mean, obviously Neves, Hakim, obvious. Partey, because the wonder strikes to get scoring, it was absolutely insane. It was incredible how many goals this guy banged in that period in those episodes. He kept hitting great strikes. But overall, midfielders are really good. You've got Ryan, who's developing, who's going to be very good. I think he can play that. He can do that position. So I think it could be some case if he takes over that role long term, potentially. And then you look at the rest of the guys here, like Van der Beek, solid. No one seems to be coming in for him yet. That could all change very quickly. And Thiago Almeida is getting better. Whether or not he's going to be a top level midfielder, I don't know yet. I think there's definitely a player that I'm. For the how much you pay for him again? We paid like £4.9 million for him this season. So yeah, I think he definitely had glimpses this season. But again, he's a good age. We'll see how he develops. So yeah, that is Kenneth Taylor. He is somebody that I'm thinking, because of who I've signed in the summer, which you'll see again next episode, is going to be loaned out. And we'll go from there. Campy Mazzala also, yeah. Just a lot of juggling balls around, trying to find the right balance of who I want to keep and who I want to loan out. Don't want to sign anybody for that position. I think centre midfielder, I've only got one player coming in, and it's just a direct placement for Kenneth Taylor who can go out on loan. And when you see, guys, I'm really excited by him next episode. So let's get to the strikers. No surprise, who's my favourite? Who got the best striker award this season? Jimmy Doku. No, it's not. It's Erling Haaland. 35 goals. He's played 55 games and got 54 goals for us in his career at Ajax. That says it all for me, really. Again, I'm sure it's going to be I want to keep him, they want to sign him season in the summer where they try and get him. But we have got options to replace. I don't think before I say this next statement, I don't think you can replace Erling Haaland. He's that good. But I think we've got options. At least it won't be critical. It won't be devastating. I would like another year of him, just to give him an extra year, just to give these strikers a bit more development time. Speaking of development, Esposito. I would love another year of Haaland to get this guy more football and develop him, to be honest with you, because I feel he could really step into the role pretty soon. I mean, obviously, they're saying he's... Well, again, this guy can't judge. This guy can't judge anything really. I mean, I don't know whether that's true. I think it's more in him. But we've got options to improve. You look at some of the other guys we've got in this team. Doku can play striker. I'm never going to play him there. But there's a guy. If you go to the development centre here, the loans. Where is he? Brian. This guy, I think, could still be long-term striker for us. He's got a massive ceiling already on his potential. His potential pace is a bit iffy for me personally, but we've got options. It's not going to be ideal if Haaland leaves, but I do feel like it's going to be not disastrous if it is. There's a conceivable notion that if Haaland is to be sold, which I don't want to do, that Esposito and Brian Roberty are the main strikers I have in my team going forward. because I don't want to sign a striker and inhibit these guys too much, because there's two good strikers there, and I think we could definitely be all right with them. It just wouldn't be. I just want another year just to give these guys a bit more football and really just, it could be. I'm quite relaxed about Erling Haaland, to be honest with you. I want £70 million for him. I want that all in straight cash. I'm going to hold firm on this. He signed a new contract as well, which is fantastic. So we're in a strong position contract-wise. We hold all the cards in this. We really do. And we'll see how it plays out, guys. A lot of the things here, I've put some maybes. And we'll have to wait and see. So, yeah. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I apologise for not seizing the goal of the season. Pretty sure it's a party goal, but I just don't want to go. I've got a lot of things I need to get. I'm working on right now. I don't want to spoil anything, but accidentally being shown on the screen when we show the goal of the season, all the season reviews, and the upcoming features and that kind of thing. So yeah, what I will do is I will, as we go through it, I will add a section for the next episode of the goal of the season bit, so you can see what the goal of the season was. In a post kind of, not post commentary, but I'll put a section and say, here's the goal of the season, guys. This is what's given as it, and you can see it again. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I hope to see you all for the second season, or the third season. Sorry, this is now officially the longest save I've done on YouTube in years. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. We've got a plan. I'm quite relaxed now. I've won the league twice. I won everything domestically. It's now what can we build and what kind of fun can we have with this team going forward. And hopefully you guys, if you've got any thoughts, suggestions, signing ideas, you can put them down below. I'll have a look at them. Can't guarantee. Obviously, I do record this ahead of time. But yeah, back to watching, folks. It should be tomorrow, next episode. It will be the opening cup game again, like we usually do. And hopefully this year we can do. I think the end next year is the minimum expectation is to try and win the league again, but progress through the group to the Champions League. If we do that, it's an improvement. Obviously, try and dominate the league as well. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you have. Hit the like button down below. I'll see you tomorrow for another upload. But until next time, thank you so much for supporting the channel and watching this series. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.